Let me tell you something that most people don't realize until they're deep into adulthood. The quietest parts of you didn't come from nowhere. The silence you carry, the way your heart races when someone new starts a conversation, that hesitation before you speak. It wasn't random. It was learned, shaped, molded quietly by the people who raised you, often without them ever meaning to. See, nobody becomes an introvert in a vacuum. It's not just a personality trait you're born with. It's also a reflection, a mirror of the emotional weather you grew up in. And if your childhood was filled with storms of criticism, judgment, or even unspoken expectations, it makes perfect sense that you learn to seek shelter in silence. Let's start from the beginning. Imagine being a little kid, full of stories, bursting with ideas, excited about every little thing. You run up to your parent to share something amazing you just discovered, and what you get back is, "Not now, I'm busy," or "Why are you always so loud?" Or maybe you tried to express a big feeling, like sadness or anger, and you were told, "Stop crying, you're overreacting," or "Big kids don't get angry." When this happens over and over again, what message do you think a child internalizes? You learn that your voice isn't important, your feelings are a burden, your excitement is an inconvenience. So you start to quiet down. You learn to edit yourself before you even speak. You start to believe that being quiet is being good, that being unseen is being safe. This isn't a conscious choice. It's a survival mechanism. Your inner world becomes your sanctuary because the outer world feels unwelcoming to your true self. Then there's the environment of constant criticism. For some of us, our childhood was a minefield of potential mistakes. Did you spill a drink? You're so clumsy. Did you get a B on a test instead of an A? You're not trying hard enough. Did you express an opinion that was different from your parents'? Don't be disrespectful when every action is scrutinized and every imperfection is magnified. You learn to avoid action altogether. You learn that the safest way to avoid criticism is to do and say as little as possible. You become hesitant, cautious. You second-guess everything. This translates directly into social anxiety as an adult. That fear of saying the wrong thing in a meeting. That's the echo of your parents' voice telling you your opinion was wrong. That reluctance to join a group conversation, that's the shadow of being told you were too much or not enough. You learned that visibility equals vulnerability. So you retreat into the background, where no one can judge you because no one can see you. Another powerful factor is having emotionally unavailable parents. Maybe they were physically present, but emotionally distant. They provided for your basic needs: food, shelter. Close, but when it came to emotional connection, they were a closed book. They didn't know how to talk about feelings, so you never learned either. When you were sad, they didn't offer a hug or a listening ear. They offered a distraction or told you to toughen up. Love was shown through actions, not words or emotional intimacy. Growing up in this emotional desert teaches you to rely on yourself for comfort. You become your own best friend, your own confidant. Your inner world becomes incredibly rich and detailed because it's the only place you can fully be yourself. This self-reliance is a strength, but it also makes it incredibly difficult to let other people in. You've spent your whole life learning that emotional connection is either unavailable or unreliable. So, as an adult, even when you crave connection, a part of you holds back because being alone feels safer and more familiar than the potential pain of someone else not being there for you emotionally. Let's not forget the well-meaning but overprotective parents. The ones who saw the world as a big, scary place and wanted to shield you from all of it. They might have said things like, "Be careful, don't talk to strangers," or "It's better to stay home where it's safe." They made decisions for you to prevent you from getting hurt or making mistakes. While this comes from a place of love, it sends a damaging message. You are not capable of handling the world on your own. They unintentionally clip your wings. You don't get to practice social skills. You don't learn how to navigate disagreements with friends. You don't build the resilience that comes from falling down and getting back up. So, when you're finally pushed out of the nest as an adult, the world feels overwhelming. Social situations are terrifying because you were never given the tools to navigate them. Your introversion, in this case, isn't a preference for solitude. It's a fear of a world you were taught to be afraid of. Now, hearing all of this might bring up some heavy feelings. You might feel angry, or sad, or even a sense of validation. It's crucial to understand this isn't about blaming our parents. Most parents do the best they can with the tools they have. Often, they were simply passing down the emotional patterns they learned from their own parents. The cycle of criticism, emotional distance, or overprotection didn't start with them. They were just one link in a long chain. The point isn't to assign blame, but to gain understanding. Understanding is the first step toward healing and change. When you understand why you are the way you are, you take back your power. You realize your introversion or social anxiety isn't a fundamental flaw in your character. It's not just who you are, it's a learned response to your environment. And the beautiful thing about learned behaviors is that they can be unlearned. So, how do we begin to heal and rewrite this narrative? It starts with self-compassion. For years, you've probably been your own harshest critic, echoing the voices from your past. It's time to replace that inner critic with an inner champion. When you feel that familiar anxiety rising before a social event, instead of saying, "Why are you so awkward?" try saying, "It's okay to feel nervous." This is a learned response. You are safe, and you can handle this. You have to start parenting yourself in the way you needed to be parented. Give yourself the permission you were never given. Permission to be imperfect, to have feelings, to take up space, to have a voice. Start small. Challenge yourself to do one small thing that scares you each day. Maybe it's making eye contact and smiling at the barista. Maybe it's speaking up for just 5 seconds in a meeting. Maybe it's sharing a small, vulnerable thought with a trusted friend. Each time you do this, you are providing your nervous system with new evidence. You're teaching it that the world is not as scary as it was taught to believe. You're proving to yourself that you can handle it. This journey is about reclamation. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that you had to silence to survive. The playful part, the expressive part, the confident part. They are all still in there, waiting for you to tell them it's safe to come out. It's also about understanding and accepting your introverted nature without judgment. Maybe you'll always prefer a quiet night in over a loud party, and that's perfectly okay. The goal isn't to force yourself to become an extrovert. The goal is to have the choice, to be able to be quiet when you want to be, and to be able to speak up and connect when you want to, without being held back by fear and old programming. To move from a place of compulsory silence to a place of conscious choice. It's about finding that beautiful balance where you can enjoy your own rich inner world, but also step out into the outer world with confidence and authenticity when you choose to. Recognizing your parents' role in shaping your introversion is not about living in the past, it's about liberating your future. It's about breaking a generational cycle so that you can live a more free and authentic life. And if you have children, you can offer them a different emotional environment. You can give them the space to be loud, to be emotional, to make mistakes, and to know without a doubt that their voice matters. The journey starts with this awareness. The quiet parts of you have a story, and understanding that story is the key to writing a new, more empowered chapter. You are not broken. You are a survivor of your emotional climate, and now you get to be the architect of your own. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that helps you understand yourself better. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care and be kind to yourself.